question for you.
It really felt like I was supposed to sing my way in, guys, but I'm not going to do that to you. I was going to hit you with a little of that Ron Isley, Clark Sisters mix. Because you know they used to say I sang like I'm a whole choir by myself. But I'm not going to do that to y'all. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Cut Different. Hashtag Cut Different on all platforms. Welcome aboard. It's your boy G, your brother, your friend, your neighbor. I just realized I sound like Kirk Franklin when I do my intro. I just realized he say the same thing when he hosting something. So, Kurt stole it from me. Matter of fact, I wrote Silver and Gold. But anyway, I got my friend with me, my brother, Big Lil Tony.
Hey.
How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Blessed, black, and highly favored.
I hear you.
Last time, guys, I said I was going to mention the counseling website or app that you can use whenever you're dealing with stuff and you really don't want to like go sit down. It's a good intro to counseling. It's still better to sit down with someone. And that website, well, it's one of a lot of them now. There's a lot of apps out there where you can get therapy online or at home on your phone. They can call you on video. But BetterHelp.com. Again, that's BetterHelp.com, and it's fairly reasonable. It's not gonna knock you over the head. But try it out. Try it out, guys. Once again, prayers for DMX.
Yes.
He's going through it. Let's pray that brother back to restoration. And that's a hell of a sickness battle from the time he was 14. You know, he's been dealing with crack. So we all have our vices and our battles.
Yep.
So let's pray that he get through his.
Absolutely.
You know, what God has for you is on the other side of fear.
Wow.
So with that being said, today we're going to talk about anger and how to deal with anger. Like, I know a lot of guys, you know, aggression is just what we're taught. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, for myself, I've learned some exercises. So, what do you think about when we're dealing with anger?
Well, anger's big, man. Anger's a big thing because you got to look at it. Well, look at it like this. When you look at anger, right, I tell people, to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with it, because when you look at the word anger, right, mm-hmm. It means having a warlike attitude. So you can have the warlike attitude, but don't switch over to make it wrath where it goes into vengeance and punishment.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with you could be at that point, but then you can't go past that point. And see, now you got to learn how do I ratchet it back mm-hmm. to keep myself to not going over the top? Because think about this. Man, listen. We get anger. I'm going to give you a good example. It's just me. I got angry about this last young man at the Capitol building that got shot. African American gentleman. I got angry at that. Yes, he hit the police officer with his car. 25 years old. Never had a record. College student. He tried to run through the barricades. Right?
They killed him?
They killed him. But check this out. But then you got a young man that go in here and kill all these people in Atlanta and you shoot him in the leg. See, that angers me. Yeah. You know, so I get angry behind that. But it don't push me to the point where I'm going to go kill somebody. Or go do something stupid, what I'm not supposed to be doing. You see what I'm saying? So I get mad at that. Yeah. Because you see the indifference. You're like, wait a minute. What's going on with this picture?
You know, it's not fair for us. Fair for us. All them people that went into the Capitol building, what, a month ago, 2 months ago?
Exactly. So you look at that, and they rushed they took over pretty much. Mm-hmm. But then you got one young man, and of course he got out, he had a knife, but he running toward the officers. But this the thing. When you look at the scene, there's a barricade that between them and them. Why you still shoot? Shoot him in the leg then. Wound him. Don't kill him.
I don't know about that. Now, come on, man.
Listen. I hear you. No, I hear what you're saying, but listen. He hit 2 officers. I understand that. But this the thing. Do you have to kill him?
I don't think he was aiming to play with them when he pulled out a knife.
I believe that.
I don't think he was trying to give love taps when he hit him with a car.
I believe that.
So you got to think about the mindset of a cop. Now, I do believe there's a whole lot of bad apples with police, but if you pull out a gun
or
and you charge me, a knife, you're not coming to wrestle. You know what I mean? You're not coming to wrestle. Now, had the guy that they shot in the leg charged him, I believe they just shot him in the leg just to subdue him, stop him from doing what he was doing. Now, granted, in a whole lot of other cases, they could have did the same thing. But this case, this dude was going at the cops, you say?
He was.
That's death sentence. You don't go at the cop with a weapon on you.
Well, you know what? I guess I was angry because it's too much going on, man.
Yeah.
With
they got a whole
the disparity,
for George Floyd, a whole trial for that. We saw them suck the life out of that.
Why would you have a whole trial for that? Mm-hmm. For something that is it's out in your face. Yeah. It ain't like, and even with this story, we getting bits and pieces of a young man, but at the same time, I don't know, bruh.
His backstory does not matter. It don't matter what kind of evidence they got of him being drunk before that happened.
That's true.
Even if he was drunk, how many times you don't watch cops and seen all these others drinking, drunk, toe up, fights, taking swings at the cops?
Absolutely, chasing them, and they running.
Yeah, and you catch them and put them in handcuffs, but this dude on the ground in handcuffs. There's nothing he can do with 6 people.
Yes.
And I can't watch that trial because it's what it was, 6 cops all together, 6 or 7 all together.
I'm not sure, Doug.
For 9 minutes and 29 seconds, y'all held this boy on the ground with all y'all, and there's only one guy on trial. If I get in the car with you,
all of us,
and we get stopped because I killed somebody.
All of us
killed somebody.
Absolutely.
That's what they're gonna say.
Absolutely.
How he get off? How they get off? And he the only one up there facing the charges.
Again, see, this what makes people angry.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it makes you angry, but you can't go past the point of doing something outside of what you've been taught. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's kind of my take on anger, man. But for me, it took me to not get past that point. I believe I told you a story before with football, and I was my Miami Dolphins, and I tried to hit somebody in the head with a like a bat I had.
Yeah.
See, I went past. I was angry, but it took me to wrath, to vengeance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to punishment, and that's not. And now I know how to ratchet it back. Say, you know what?
How do you do that? What do you do?
Mine is because I've learned, just me, because I learned who I really am in God. Really, that's what keeps me. Other than that, I believe if I wasn't in God, man, I'd probably be doing all kind of crazy stuff because I get angry quick. But He always brings me back to, hey, you have to be the example. You see what I'm saying? It's a mindset.
Well, I'm going to have to use my interview skills. I've been doing this, 2-3 months now? So let me see if I got some interview skills. So, okay, God is such a broad stroke of how you deal with it.
Gotcha.
So when you say God, like give us a breakdown of like, okay, so your wife say something crazy to you or somebody cut you off in traffic. Mm-hmm. What's the first thing you do? Do you think about God? Do you just go straight to God?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't.
What you do?
First, a lot of times I say something, or I might say something stupid. I'm being honest. Yeah. I might say something stupid, but it won't get me to the point where I'm going to try. I might say, what an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm mad. You cut me off. I'm angry. Mm-hmm. Dude, what are you doing? But I don't go to the point where I follow him and say, I'm going to run you back off the road because you did that to me. See?
Road
rage. Because now you done transitioned over into wrath and vengeance and punishment. Because that's what you're doing.
Yeah. I probably need to work on that. I'll stop in the middle of the road.
Nah.
And start texting. Hey, man, don't ride my bumper. Don't blow at me.
Man.
Don't do that because I will stop in the middle of the road. You can go around.
What?
But I seen somebody open the car door one time. I did it, and I just pulled off. I was like, this gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? It's gonna go left.
Yeah.
When I roll down my window, get out of the car, it's gonna go left. And you got to figure that if anybody's willing to confront you on the road anyway, they probably getting out of the car with a gun. You know what I mean? Like, who gets there unless they are a fellow road rager and they just want to tell you shouldn't do that in an unsavory way.
Man, I mean.
But yeah, I'm just joking, guys. Don't do that. I don't stop in the middle of the road no more. I stopped doing that when I was a teenager. So the first time, when you bring down that anger after you say your little, crazy stuff first. So how you stop being mad? How you stop being angry right then? You just go on about your day?
I do.
Yeah.
I really do. I go on by my day. I actually forget about it.
Yeah.
I really do. I forget about it because I'm like, it's not worth it to me.
Right.
It's not worth it. And what happens is, a lot of times, what happens for me, it brings back to my mind to think about now, because anger brings about the wrath, right? When it transitions over. And really, if you think about it, it's really all about you.
Okay.
It's really all about you.
How you receive what's going on.
Absolutely. So now what happens, I start thinking about, man, if I do this, how will it affect my family?
Yeah.
And is it worth me affecting my family and really destroying them and also destroying who you say you are?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to think about who you are and what you got to lose.
That's it.
So that's definitely one way to think about things. Is this, when I get angry, I always go to two things. 10 seconds before I respond. I'm going to give myself 10 seconds. If you give it a delayed response to something, give you time to cool it, give them time to cool it. Because you breaking that energy when you give it 10 seconds. Sometimes 15, sometimes 20 seconds.
That's good.
And you just wait, count it out. In your head, count it out. You might not want to do it out loud because that might agitate the person that you're in confrontation with. You start counting off and like, what happened when you get to one? What happened?
Yeah.
But give yourself them seconds, man, however many you need, and just cool it for a second. And secondly, I think about, is this worth me losing who this is in my life? Is it really worth that?
Yeah.
Even when you're dealing with relationships, you got to think about, if I say this relationship could be over.
Yes.
If I do this relationship could be over. And is it worth it? Is this argument over a remote or cutting me off, is any of that worth it?
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those are two exercises you guys can use with that, because they've helped me in a lot of situations. You've seen me in a situation that actually helped me.
Yes.
I'll think about things when I get mad, or when I think if I say anything or if I do anything, I think about where I'd rather be. A lot of times you can take yourself out of that situation. I want to go home. I want to eat. I want to take a bath. I want to kiss my babies. I want to kiss the old lady. I want to watch some TV. Those are the things I'm thinking about. I could stay here with you and possibly go to jail. You know what I mean? Lose our life, go to the hospital. Anything bad can happen if I stay here in this moment with you. So I'm going to put myself somewhere else.
Man.
And once I leave mentally, all I got to do is walk out the door. You know what I mean?
That is so good. I like when you said, once you leave mentally.
Yeah.
Because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
Once you leave mentally, I'll take myself out of that situation mentally.
Yeah.
Then I can walk out. Man, that is so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah, it helps a lot. It helps a lot, because I used to be a very angry person. So, you know, knowing that if any of you guys are like me, you know that you got this other gear. And once you get in that gear,
yep,
it's hard to come out of that.
That's true. That's true.
At that point,
that's true.
There's no return from that. You know what I mean? And you might you might not just endanger the person that you're mad at. It could be other people around.
Yes.
You know what I mean? People that you respect, love, or just somebody that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know, that explains a lot of these, when you hear on the news or when you hear in conversation that guys are out here, a bunch of people got shot that had nothing to do with nothing.
Absolutely.
They had nothing to do with it.
Nothing. But someone got angry at somebody else, and they didn't think about themselves. They didn't think about nobody else. They thought about just them.
Yeah.
How someone did me. And then they did something, and they went about, and then somebody else comes back, and they shooting, and they just start shooting, trying to hit that person, and them bullets are going everywhere. And just like you said, now innocent people are getting hurt or dying.
Yeah.
Over what?
Nothing. A misunderstanding that it's hard for me to get upset with people I don't know. Like, if I don't know you and you don't like me, that means nothing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That means nothing, guys. If somebody you at odds with, or just, it's more personal. Like if I got into it with my friend or my brother or some, the relative, somebody that I'm tied to. But if you in a grocery store, a mall, at a concert, and somebody bump into you, that has no weight in your life. There's no weight in your life, and y'all, a lot of people riding around with these assault rifles, and that explains the innocent bystanders. You just shooting wild. You can't control that.
No.
That's somebody's child out there playing. You know what I mean? Somebody's wife, somebody's mother, somebody's sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has nothing to do with what y'all got going on.
That's right. That's right.
So, we gotta give ourselves time, like go through some exercise, try to pick up some healthier habits when you're dealing with anger. That right there has a lot of people in prison right now.
Yes,
a lot of people in prison. We don't, it takes a second. It takes a second. Anything can just change like that, just because you didn't want to let something go.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? I'm going to say this. We got some, and I'm going to say this not from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint, I just believe some of the weakest people are the people that can't control their emotions.
That's the first thing a man needs to learn how to do. Control your emotions.
See, you can have all this other stuff put together, but you can't control your emotions. You're really a weak individual.
Yeah. Now, for the guy that's listening that has, those issues. It's a weakness, fellas, if you can't control those emotions. But how there's no, you don't need to give up on it.
Oh no,
because that's the identity of it. You know what I mean? That's the definition of it. You don't have to give up on figuring out how to work that out, because I'm pretty sure, like myself and many other people, anger has cost you some things. Sometimes you got to count up the cost. Is it worth holding on to this?
And I can say this because I'm there, been there, and continue to be there. Yeah. Where there's times when I didn't control my emotions and I was weak at that moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. I ain't saying wimp. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when you become weak in those areas, man. Because you give up your strength. Yeah. You give up that area that you kind of held, and you become weak.
You're not in control.
At all. You're not in control no more, and that's why I try so hard. And I like that technique where now I can go back and use that. So let me count this down. Yeah. I never thought of it like that, but that's good, and that may be what I'm doing. When I sit back and say, "No, it ain't worth it," I may be counting that down, but not realizing that, hey, I'm thinking about this thing, and like you said, it gives you time to think.
Yeah.
So, like my brother said, don't think when I said you weak. Nah, you ain't no wimp. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when we fail to control our emotions at that point, we're weak. We're vulnerable.
Yeah.
And
you wide open, brother.
You wide open for anything. And that's what we don't want.
Yeah. And that's why I address it, because I'm one of those, I used to be one of those people that, now that would spark something else. You know what I mean? If I knew that I wasn't handling my stuff correctly, and it was mentioned that that it's said that way, that I'm weak.
Oh man.
Oh, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
I can handle this.
Yeah, right.
What you mean? What you want to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? What you want to do? Because I ain't scared. I can deal with it.
Dude.
But and anybody dealing with that, that's that other ear, that other gear.
Yes.
When you hear that, when you feel like somebody bested you.
Yeah.
And you're a whole man. You know what I mean? You're a grown man, and you feel like somebody took a... But you have to understand at that moment, that's the boy talking. You know what I mean? The boy, he need to be king of the hill. The boy need to prove how strong he is. These are all things... Think about all the things that we used to test our strengths when we were boys.
Yeah.
When we were children. We had to see who the strongest was. We had to see who the fastest was. Who can fight. You know what I mean? Yes. It wasn't no... And when you become a man... You have to learn when to fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? When to have an argument about something. Is it worth it? That's when logic got to kick in. You know, and a lot of times we don't reason with logic. You know what I mean? We don't understand with a logical and more spiritual mind.
Right. That's right.
When we're children.
That's right.
You know, that's something that you have to learn. That's something you have to grow into.
That's right.
So, with what it is in the Bible. When I was a child, I spake as a child.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And when I became a man, I put away all childish things.
That's right.
So you have to understand that that's not you right now when you get upset sometimes. Depending on the level of what situation, because there's different situations. Like I got a problem with somebody and it looks like it's about to go down.
Uh-huh.
You got that. And then you got the stuff at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a whole nother level of...
Man.
You got a lot of domestic violence is still what every 6 seconds or 6 hours, I think, that a woman is being abused.
Wow.
And I learned this from a guy that's an advocate for domestic violence. I learned that from a guy. So, which was weird because I had never seen a guy in that field. I was reading this book and that was the first I ever heard of it. But we got to stop that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We got to stop that, even though I still truly believe in my heart that, you know, any woman that's dealing with that, yeah, you don't make excuses for him.
Oh, no.
You don't make excuses for him. You have to get you and your kids, if you have them, and you have to get out of that situation. Love don't hurt that like that. Love can disappoint you sometimes, but it don't hurt like that. Man, guys, if you get angry enough to put your hand on her, is she worth it? Is she worth it? Is that worth it? She's probably worth your love and worth your time. But if you've hurt her and disappointed her and she don't want to hear you out right now, leave.
Absolutely.
Leave.
Absolutely.
Leave. And if you and a lot of times if you're not married and that kind of stuff has already transpired, that's a in my opinion, because I won't tell nobody what to do. That's a tarnished relationship.
It's toxic.
Toxic, yeah. You need to end that. That's gonna always be there. Anytime you get upset, she gonna see your fist. So it's best to, like, you know, walk away from situations or to just jump into some counseling immediately.
Yes.
Immediately.
I agree.
And if you're married, you know, I know a lot of times it's hard to just end a marriage. But, I mean, not at the rate y'all doing it these days. But I know you try to work through things. And counseling, prayer, and you need, having a counsel isn't just going to a therapist. You got to lean on some strong brothers in your life. You got to get with your parents. You got to trace the issue. Tracing it. And a lot of times when you're angry, that's something you can do too. How did I get here?
Yes, trace it back. That's right.
Why am I so mad about this? Mm-hmm. Is it really the remote control? Is it really that you was late?
Or
you know,
something else?
Yeah.
That's right.
Or does it go back to something, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's right.
A long time ago.
That's right.
And it usually is.
Yeah.
Usually is for you to get that upset with somebody that you love. It's usually something from your childhood, something early in the relationship. You know what I mean?
And can I say this? What my brother was just talking about. It is something deep rooted or something that has happened in the past or something going on. But let me tell you this. In order for you to break that, it has to be something stronger than what is already in you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to have something that is stronger. And I'm saying this. And the only thing that is stronger than a lot of stuff that we go through is God.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the strongest thing that we need to break all of these things from our past. And the things that are, because a lot of them is deep rooted, man. And you think you would do that on your own, you're going to fail every time almost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll come out of it and then something will spark you and then you'll be like, I'm back at it. You know, because I was like that for a long time. And now, even now, I get to the point where I'm like, not hitting my wife, I don't do that. But I'm saying, well, people, you know, some people, they get you to the point and you be like, man, but if it wasn't not for God in my life, yeah, man, I'd be fighting all the time. Yeah. Because I'd be like, nah, dude, no, you didn't say that to me. No, I know you did. And I don't care who you are, guess what? And you might with me, but we gonna fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the case for a lot of us, man. And spiritual, that's you have to tune in with your spiritual side, man.
Yes.
As a man, you got to have, you know, accountability, and God gives you accountability. He gives you the validation that you're seeking. He gives you that. He gives you the attention that you feel like you desire from people.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That's it.
And another thing I learned about a lot of domestic violence situations, a lot of times the guy that's doing that, and some women now are here, a lot of people that do that, they grew up with that in their household. You know what I mean? And you think that that'll make you not want to do it and put yourself in that situation.
Right.
But nah, They grow up, and that's how I seen Daddy deal with his anger. So that's what I feel like I need to do, just like spanking. You know what I mean? I was terrible about that for a long time because that's what I saw. You know what I mean? Everything you did wrong, spank, 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 because that's what I saw growing up. So, and the same thing with domestic violence and, you know, being abusive in relationships.
Let me say this, if I can.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hold on. You may.
Well, coming out of the environment I came out of, military wise.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, I was an angry individual. Coming from war zone and being in those situations, I was angry. And not knowing it, I took a lot of it out on my children. As far as spanking them and getting, you know, why are you doing that? You know, grabbing them. And, man, and when you realize, after a while, when I realized being in God and learning, some of that stuff was still even happening. You know what I'm saying? As they got older, it get you mad. Like they say, Kirk Franklin, what he did, you know. But I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
Not saying, but I was, you know, hey, what are you doing? You know, hey, you better get it right. Man, that stuff, you think you raising them right. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a young man, I'm raising you right. You better be strong. You better be hard. You know what I'm saying? And instilling this fierce and anger and taking stuff out on them. And you see some of your young men, mine, displaying that same anger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's hurtful.
Yeah.
It's hurtful to me. Man, I can almost cry every time. Because I say, man, I did that. Yeah. I messed that up. Yeah. You know, but even though now, you know, when we talk, you know, but I see some of the same pattern. You understand what I'm saying? And it's hurtful, man.
Yeah.
It really is. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you could have kept going if you had more on that.
Yeah, we got to. And now I'm trying to just recover. You know what I'm saying? Try to make it, when I talk to him, try to tell, hey, son, because he got sons. Hey, son, when you don't grab him up like that. You know what I'm saying? We came out all right. Well, no, you didn't. No, you didn't come out all right. Yeah. And I tell him quick, Dad messed up. I did some messed up stuff. Thought I was doing right, but I was doing wrong. And I tell him, look, man, talk to him. Explain to him what's going on. Yeah. Hey, you can't do it like this because of this, and this. You know, and if they continue, you can tap them a little bit, but don't be mad when you do it. You be calm. You and like you count it down, and then you go back and talk to them and tell them, listen. Because there are different ways to discipline your children. Not all of them can be hard when you whip them. Some of them, you can talk to them, they cry. Bam, it's done. Okay. And they'll move and won't do that again. Now, there's some you may have, but don't be angry when you do it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard. And you have to, like I had to learn, I had to bring my daughters into my recovery. You know, I had to bring that when I started knowing that it was wrong. I had to talk about, well, I can acknowledge that this is what I was taught. This is how I was taught to discipline. That's wrong. Yes. I don't have to be that hard. Now, you still got to know.
Right.
Including my godson, you still got to know that, hey, I've forgiven myself now. But you're not going to stand too close to me with no foolery.
Right.
You might want to watch out for that backhand now.
Right.
You might want to tell me that over there. Go over there somewhere and then say it or shout it out. Shout it out there. Give me enough time to count to 10 before I get over there. So, And a lot of people don't do that. I know a lot with our community. We don't bring our children into. And now, when I say bring them into the recovery, you don't have to expose them. You don't have to turn your child into your counselor.
Right. Yes. I get you.
Because you got to remember that you're still their parent.
Yes.
At that, and when you go too far, you're asking them to parent you. Feel sorry for you.
Right.
No, let's not do that. Let's not add on to what we got to fix. Let's say, hey, I'm going to explain to you why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is who I am. There's some things about me. Once you put all the things in the gumbo, once you put all the ingredients in the gumbo, you know what I mean? If you don't eat pork and it's been pork in there for the last hour boiling, it's in there now.
It's in there.
Yeah. You can't take it out at the last minute and say it's not in there now.
Right.
I can still taste it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can still taste it. So some things about you are things that you just have to accept, and you have to learn to cope with them things.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
try to find better exercise. Exercising helps, but find different ways to deal with how you feel about things and how you react to things.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Just because it's in you, don't mean that you gotta. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Just because there's a pork sausage in that pot don't mean that you got to throw it on your plate.
That's right.
Nah, just give me the shrimp and the crab and the chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
That's
give me
it.
that. But that's good. That's real good. I like that, you know, in this form. I don't see many podcasts or talk shows really go into like detail a lot of times when it comes to like anger, and a lot of us don't just pick up books or voluntarily go to like counseling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. That's true.
So, you know, when you can find brothers talking about stuff like that, and again, y'all can have these conversations within your group of guys and try to get together and help each other get through all the battles in life. You know, a lot of the stuff we don't ever talk about. Ever talk about. We expect that all the time. Now, I notice sometimes when I'm with one of my relatives, they always pop off. And as like it's still a teaching moment for me. Like, dude, that's not how I deal with things.
Right.
And now, you know, that I've gotten older, I was able to start telling them, like, dude, that's a better way. You know, we ain't got to get mad about that.
That's right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
Just ask, can you know what I mean? I was in the restaurant not too long ago, the other day, with my sister. And I'm looking, and I know my sister, I'm like, they don't look like that's going right over there. So I went over there and stood by her. And the entire time, she was on, she might be listening to this. Oh, well, you know what I mean? Oh, well, baby. But I noticed that she was on 10. You know what I mean? She wasn't as loud as she could have been, but she was on 10. The entire time with the order, you know, it was a couple ladies over there trying to resolve it, but she was still on 10. Yeah. She couldn't hear them trying to resolve it. I heard repeatedly after I walked over there, man, we're just trying to help you. She didn't hear that. She heard, y'all tried me.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all got me waiting. Y'all done messed up my stuff. That's all she heard. Y'all disrespecting me. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we gotta, you know what I mean? And if you have somebody in your life like that, you gotta be that voice of reason. Even if you agree with them sometimes about something being wrong, there's a way that we gotta respond to this.
Man, that's so good.
You know what I mean? That's the way that we gotta respond. So, and I didn't have that conversation with her right then, but you know, I'm the calm one. You know what I mean? It's not necessary until it's necessary. Mm-hmm. You know, that's my approach. So right now, all right, okay, I hear you, they hear you. Okay, all right. And sometimes you just gotta, and when they know, you'll slowly bring them down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
And you don't have to get ignorant with them. You know what I mean? You don't have to start shouting and telling them what they need to do or how they need to take it. Okay, I hear you. And a lot of times when we get mad, that's all we really want. Think about it, as mad as you've been sometimes, if somebody said, I understand, that'll break all that up.
You know what's
That'll break it up.
You know what's so funny about that, which is so good that everything and listen, guys, everything surrounds when it goes back to it. Think about, and I don't want to get super, the word of God, right, where it says a soft answer turns away wrath. So just like you did that soft answer, like when you in somebody's face and they say, "It's okay, man, we all right." Then you like, why am I yelling? Because now you looking crazy. Everybody looking at you, and the person just like, "It's okay, man. Calm down. We're going to be all right." And then you just say, "Oh, I look stupid if I keep going." You know what I'm saying? But that soft answer turned away what? The wrath.
Yep. Don't, hey, throw your Bible knowledge out there, brother. Hey, they can handle it.
Hey.
If you can't handle that, you can't handle me.
Yeah, the soft answer, brother. Yeah. That's what it say. It turned away wrath.
Yeah.
It's right in there. So that helps us. And that's a perfect situation. When you came over, you calm, you said, "Hey, okay, it's going." And guess what? Probably everything calmed down.
Yeah.
See? All you did was what was in you.
Yeah. We don't have to go there.
That's awesome.
Tell these people thing, you know what I mean?
That's
it's okay.
That's awesome.
Like what Kevin Hart said, somebody want to fight you, give me a hug. Bring it in. You can't fight that.
Bring it in.
Gonna be mad at that?
Bring it in.
Yeah.
Come on.
You can't be mad at that.
That's something, man. That's so awesome. That's good. That's so good.
Yeah, you can't be mad all the time. A lot of us, we go to sleep with that anger. And if you're not able to, and I still have bouts with that. And I think I was telling somebody one time with a similar situation. I was mad. I used to see this guy, the situation we had. I used to see them every time I went to the store, every time I went to a particular restaurant. I used to see them all the time. After I dealt with the situation properly, my flesh got involved. Like, nah, player, no. No, he think this about you. You know what I mean? He think that about you. And I know I'm a sin. Yeah, I ate at that restaurant every weekend trying to run into him. I went to more. I went to the movies. I went to the grocery store. All the places I seen him. God kept this dude from around me. Until I seen myself in that mirror one day. You look stupid. This man done moved on with his life. Ain't no need for you to be mad. And he probably didn't even mean it the way that you took it. Not as deep as you took it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I really had to tell myself, like, God had to calm me down. I was like that for a year. I couldn't wait. I got in shape for that. You know what I mean? I couldn't wait. But that was wrong for me. That little boy in me was still telling me, he think he can beat you.
Wow.
He think he better than you. You know, he think he right. I knew I was right, but he think he right. I got to make sure when I see him that he know he was wrong. How I'm going to do that with these? And that was wrong.
Yeah. I got you.
That little boy kept talking to me.
Yeah.
He talked to me for a year. And
wow.
I was with God. I was praying on the regular. I was still a Christian, just as much Christian as I was the moment that happened.
Yeah.
I had to go back to it. I was still, that thing was tearing me apart inside. That little boy was inside of here beating all this up. He was killing it. He was killing me, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep because I thought that little boy needed to do the talking for me.
Ow.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's good. Woo!
But I had that sometimes you got to tell that little boy to shut the hell up.
Be quiet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But sometimes you know your children in you. They ain't gonna listen to be quiet. Sometimes you shut the hell up. That ain't the way we dealing with it. That's right. Not it.
That's it. I mean?
So, and I know a lot of men have been in situations because at the end of the day we're all different, but we're so much alike.
Yes, that's a fact.
So much alike.
That's a fact.
Unless you pop off Terman and you popping off all the time, a lot of us on a day-to-day basis, we have the same battles. You know what I mean? We just don't share.
That's right.
In our community, we just don't share.
Just don't share.
And we got to stop that. We got to share this information. This how I got through being cheated on. This how I got through being insecure. And a lot of us don't even want to say that. You know, we can perpetuate, you know, being unhealthy and stuff like that, but that ain't cool. That ain't cool. We keep throwing that in that washing cycle. It keeps going over and over and over, and we keep passing it along, and it never gets dealt with.
And I like that. And I'm going to go back to the Bible where it said, what? Confess our sins one to another.
Yeah.
Right? So now, when you confess me, so we can help each other.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's for. But just like you said, we don't share. We hold it in, and we think, oh, man, they're going to look at me some type of way if I say, no. Bruh, because when you share, the other person said, man, I'm dealing with the same thing. And now we can help each other. And guess what? Now, we got an accountability partner.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you accountable, and you're going to hold me accountable.
All right.
And we're going to stand as one, being accountable to each other. So when I see you getting to that level, I'm going to say, hey, bruh, no, come on down. And when you see me, no matter how I am, if you love me and you say you my brother, you're going to come to me and say, nah, bruh, calm it down. That ain't the way we handle things. Because what? Now we're accountable to one another.
Yeah.
But just like you said, and I love that, we don't share, bruh. We don't share. We hold it in and think nobody else is dealing with this but me. Yeah. Man, and all of us dealing with the same things.
Like, we can't articulate our feelings enough for that person. If I had did that, I would have saved myself a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say I don't remember much about that time other than every time I got in my car, I was hoping to see this man.
Man. That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every time I went into a room,
yeah.
we always see each other here. I know he going to be here. I'm ready. I'm in my fighting clothes. You know what I mean? Ignorant. In my 30s. With children and a mortgage. And a business.
I
you know
know.
what I mean?
All that.
And the boy said, man, none of that don't matter. Your respect matter. You got to get that back.
Man.
And at the end of the day, who does that matter to other than you?
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of people not going to respect you the way that you want to be respected or treat you like you Jesus, like you God. Ain't nobody bowing down to you, sir.
And this the kicker, man, you saying that. Because that's what that little boy, like you said, that enemy, he speaks to us. Mm-hmm. Because what? He wants us to lose everything. Mm-hmm. He don't want us to have anything. And that's what he does when he gets us to the point of wrath. He wants you to lose everything. We talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
No.
Just think about the situation, kind of that situation. If you would have done something, and say you the one to fight, but the man hits his head, dies, just because a person slips and falls, and then guess what? Where my daughter going? My business gone. Yeah. My house gone. Yeah. Everything I had is gone because what? The little boy told me, you got to get your respect back. Man, that's so crazy. But we think like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like getting advice from somebody that don't have nothing, and not knocking anybody, but it's like going to a bum on the street, a homeless person. I don't want to call them a bum, but going to a homeless person and asking them about how you should pay your bills this month. They're not going to be able to, you know what I mean? They can't give you no advice for that. You know what I mean? How should I parent this week? They not dealing with their children. You know what I mean?
Right.
How are you supposed to get advice from that? So that's like that little boy, he don't have nothing. He ain't got nothing to lose. He live in you.
Right.
He don't care if it's cold outside and you got to sleep outside.
That's right.
He don't care if you going to jail. He don't care about your record. He ain't got one.
So that's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
He don't care. So why would you let that take control of your decisions when they not got, they don't have nothing? Sometimes that little boy is one of your friends. Sometimes he one of your colleagues.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Sometimes that's a girl that at the club telling you ain't got to go home to your wife. You know what I mean? Giving you this bad advice. knowing that they don't have nothing to lose in your life.
Yes. That's right.
That's your life.
Yep. That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
You can lose it. I ain't gonna care. I can replace whatever this is we got going on.
Man.
But if you lose it, hey man. So, now we can talk about that. And misery loves company. You got them people out there that want you to go down the same rabbit hole they went down too.
Yes.
You got to be careful with that.
Yes. Absolutely.
Go ahead.
They set you right on up.
Yeah.
You know what? I was listening to a song, and it kind of ties into this, where we now have to change our perspective and how we do things, right? The song was saying, it was talking about God, said, let them see you in me. Let them see you when I speak. Let them see you. Whatever I do, let them see you. And that's how we got to be with this anger thing. The anger thing, we can be angry, but it said what? Don't sin not. Don't turn to wrath, which is punishing or vengeance, right? So now, let them see you. Let them see God in you. To where, yeah, I can get to that point. You could provoke me, and I could still be mad provoked, but I ain't going to go to your level. I'm going to go to the level where God is, where God say, okay, like you said, count it down. Now, when I count it down, when I come with a soft answer, now you seen God in me.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't let the devil take over.
And that's what I'm trying. That's
yeah.
it. You say the plain. That's it.
Yeah.
That was simple. That's it. What you said. That was it.
It's so easy for us to do it. We do it so often that it's almost normal for us, a lot of us, to do it.
Yes.
Well, everybody goes through that. Nobody's going to live. And nobody's going to judge you for the mistakes you've made, man.
Not.
All right, we all still currently making mistakes.
Man,
you know
every day.
Yeah. It doesn't make you a bad person because you don't know how to deal with all of this today.
No,
and if you can't absorb this entire conversation today, doesn't mean that you can't absorb this conversation.
That's right.
Play it back later on, fellas. All of this right here is going to always be up, and you can have these conversations. These aren't the only ways. You know, this is just a few ways that we deal with things.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
A few of our experiences, that will have you, you tripping. That's why I always, anytime I'm talking about stuff, I always try to go within, because I don't been dumb. With that same situation, I remembered stuff that I shouldn't have never remembered. That's how you know the devil be in the mix. I'm telling you, he had to say this to me 6 months prior to this about what time he stopped at the gas station every morning. I remembered that. The devil put it in my mind, like, if you really want to get him, I was at that gas station at 7 o'clock in the morning. Pissed.
Oh, man.
Pissed.
What?
The devil.
Yeah.
The devil.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's all that is. And some of the exercises, just go back over some of the exercises that we mentioned. You know, give yourself that 10 to 30 seconds.
That's awesome.
Give yourself a break. Sometimes you have to leave.
That's awesome.
Sometimes you have to walk away from the situation, especially when it's somebody that's permanently in your life or that you want permanently in your life. Because a lot of times we have to know, even if it's blood, sometimes you have to cut certain things out and certain people out of your life.
That's true.
And we can't help the casualties of growth. You know, sometimes
That's right.
It's growing pain.
That's right.
Sometimes you gotta let people go. And it's just like cancer. Just like cancer, and a lot of times with the tumors, they have to cut those out. They have to cut out this tissue that was infected with this. Sometimes you got to cut that cancer out of your life.
That's right.
You got to let that out of there.
That's right, bro.
No, don't try to, just because I like the way my biceps look or my chest look or my stomach, and women go through this, their breasts, their butt, you know what I mean, where that cancer don't spread, and they can save all of you, the rest of you, if we get rid of this. And yeah, I want this hand. I need this hand. But if I have to sacrifice this hand to save for the greater good for the rest of my body, I got to let that hand go.
Yeah.
I got to let that breast go.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
So you got to go. When you got that going on, You have to know that you've been dealing with this cycle for so many years. Let it go.
Let it go.
If it hasn't yielded any results, any positive results in your life, let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go, and maybe God will bring it back together for you the right way.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And so that's one way. And you're giving yourself some time. Exercising helps. If you work out for an hour, whatever you was mad at, man, you too tired to deal with that.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's right. That's right.
Hey, it's reading a good book. You know, trying to enjoy life. If you have a lot of anger in your life, sometimes you got to do something like go on a vacation. You know what I mean? Do something nice for yourself. Sometimes you have to reward yourself when you've done the right thing. If I walked away, if I know that this is something I'm working on, reward yourself along the way. Don't cost yourself things that you need in your life and things that you're responsible for. But hey, I did everything right. I'm going on a cruise.
That's good.
I'm going to reward myself this year because I ain't had no arguments this month.
Yeah.
I ain't got to nobody face this month.
That's good.
I haven't fought anybody. I haven't talked crazy to my children, my wife. I'm going to reward. Hey, let's go on a family vacation.
That's
hey,
good.
baby, let's just me and you go. Let's reward ourselves because we've been doing good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What? That's good.
Another thing on that list, you got anything to add to that list?
No, keep going. That's so good. It's good, man. I'm taking it in.
Yeah. And refocus. Refocus helps when you're angry. Refocus on I think we definitely mentioned it earlier, that you have to think about your goal in this conversation, in this confrontation, conversation, whatever it is. My goal is to let you know that I understand you, and this is how I feel, and I respect how you feel. Refocus that conversation, because if you start an argument with somebody, or somebody start an argument with you, eventually it's going to be about the argument. It ain't about what we're trying to resolve no more.
Right. That's
so
true.
You have to stay focused and sometimes refocus the argument on what it's supposed to be about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll find out that quickly resolves a lot of things. You know what I mean? And these are things that I'm currently working on. I'm not a professor. I'm not a therapist. I'm just like you. I'm just like you. I'm
right.
growing, and I'm praying that for better days for myself. You know what I mean? My triumph over a few situations doesn't mean that I'm immune to going through any of them things again.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes these are exercises you constantly have to do.
Constantly.
You have to remember, as long as it's not, and we're not islands. We're not islands. That's the whole purpose of this podcast, is just reach out, because a lot of us have put ourselves on these islands that nobody understands us, nobody sees where we at, nobody cares about how we feel. So I'm just isolating myself from everything and everybody. Yeah, I'm there. Just like that island off the coast of Florida, I'm there. Mm-hmm. You can see me, you can visit me, but I'm by myself.
And that's how he wants you, by yourself. So now you can manipulate your mind.
Yeah.
And manipulate and put stuff in there, because you don't have nobody to bounce what you think off of, so they can say, man, that you talking crazy. Look, let's get this back to ground zero. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the basics and get it back on track. Because when you by yourself, that's all you think is you. Mm-hmm. But when you get with, like we said, bounce it off our brother, get an accountability partner, then we can bounce this thing off each other and bring you back to where, let's bring you back. Let's bring each other back to where we're supposed to be. Now let's move forward. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, I love that. Because he want to get you on that island by yourself.
Oh, yeah. So he can just keep throwing that gasoline on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to throw that gasoline on there and have you perpetuate more of the BS that you've been dealing with. Like, once he does that, I can just keep adding to it. Look, ain't nobody showed up on your island. Ain't nobody came to check on you.
Yeah.
And have you putting all your energy into things that don't mean you no good. Have you so involved in love with money? I've been that guy before. My emotions were completely tied to how much money I had. And if I didn't have anything, nobody around me happy. Don't come around me. Don't come around. I ain't got nothing to give you. We can't go do nothing together. We can't go eat. I ain't got no gas put in the car. Where we gonna go? Don't come around me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Any relationship I was in at that time, no. I don't need that. I don't need you. What you can do for me? You know what I mean? And when you get yourself on that island, you think that's okay to be like that.
Yeah.
You think that's fair to everybody in your life, that they have to accept that about you. This is how I am. Y'all know me. That's me talking. Y'all know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know a nigga broke. You know what I mean? That's how I used to sound.
Yeah.
That wasn't fair.
Yeah.
That wasn't fair to me or them.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
They
true.
wasn't their responsibility that I didn't have what I thought I was supposed to have. You know what I mean? But that's how some of us are.
Yeah.
And we have to start rechanneling that energy, man.
That's right.
We got to come out of that.
Absolutely. That's right.
Yeah, you got to find out the things that really matter in life.
Man, that's
Ain't got nothing to do with a lot of things that upset you.
That's it.
A lot of things that upset you really ain't got a lot of weight in your life. You know what I mean? So what? I lost my house. You can get another one. They ain't stopped making houses after that one.
That's true.
That job that you lost or that business that you lost, that wasn't the last opportunity in your life. As long as you got another 24, you can go back.
Yeah.
You might have lost your wife.
Yeah.
I don't think God just stopped making women after her. You know what I mean? She walked away from you, so somebody else that's supposed to be there can walk in there.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
And even on some darker notes, that I had a friend that was so distraught after they had a miscarriage, and you have to know that God know what He doing. He know what He doing, and for those of us that deal with miscarriage, you got to understand that there's always going to be a season of replenishment in your life. You know what I mean? So you have to let that hurt go, because a lot of times we tear down things. When we so hurt, we start realizing that I lost this, I lost them. But I still have these people.
That's it.
I still have her.
That's
I still have him.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I can replenish. God is going to replenish this for me. All I got to do is get up every day and
That's it.
put that foot out of bed, get up. I'm hurt, but that hurt going to start to be easier every day.
Yes.
Every day, no matter what you've been through in your life, you will be replenished. You know what I mean?
That's it, man.
So, with that being said, fellas, I got my brother, my friend. You know what upsets me? Because I didn't talk about my anger, like presently. I don't like seeing tight pants. You know what I mean?
Man,
on
look.
guys. I'm just saying, brother, I didn't expect you to walk in the door like this. I think you just threw blue paint on your legs.
Look, y'all, don't listen to him. Look, my pants are not tight.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, bro.
I appreciate you, brother.
too.
But again, it's been another episode of Cut Different. Y'all like, share, comment, have these conversations. Even if you don't want to have it publicly, you know, a lot of guys are sending messages, and those are always welcome on social media platforms. Hashtag Cut Different. I'll see you guys next time, Tony. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, bro. Been a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. And y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Thank you. These are our 2 cents. Spend it or save it. We out of here.
Right. Hey, you need to stop. I love it though, man. Boy, you know what? Every time, I love it. Because I tell my wife every time,